Okay, we're on.
All right, I hereby call this meeting to order. Good morning. I'm the Special Magistrate for today's Code Enforcement Special Magistrates hearing. I wanted to begin by explaining how the process is going to work. We generally hear the building cases on the agenda first, and the city will call the cases as they appear on the agenda. If you've appeared at today's hearing, your case will be called before those cases where no one else has appeared, but that is only true if you've signed in. So if you haven't signed in, please check with an officer at the rear of the chamber. Once your case is called, I ask that you come down to the podium on my right-hand side, right over here. The city will put on its testimony and evidence first. You'll have an opportunity to review this evidence and to ask questions of any of the city's witnesses, after which time you can present me with your own testimony and evidence. Once I have all the testimony and evidence, I will make a ruling. I will enter a written order today or in the next few days, which you'll receive a copy of. If you have any questions as we go through the process, please feel free to ask them. This is not a formal courtroom. Formal rules of evidence do not apply here. However, although this is not a formal courtroom, all testimony given today must be under oath. So if you're going to testify or you think you might testify or there's a possibility that you might testify, I'd ask that you stand and raise your right hand so that I can swear you in. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be truthful and accurate under penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of Florida? Yes. Please be seated. City, please call your first case.
Number 3, case number, we're going to start with number 2. Case number CEB LD 251-00853, address 413 North Ware Drive.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Joe Valdez, Building Inspector for the City of West Palm Beach. The code case here is CEBLD 251-00853. The address is 413 Ware Drive. On the day I was doing a roofing inspection, I noticed some work that had been done on this house. They had installed new windows. They infilled some existing openings, new electrical panel, new doors. Interior renovations were done also. I issued the violation and posted the stop work order on 10/4/25. The notice of violation was mailed, certified mailed on 1/20/26. It was posted at City Hall on 1/22/2026. Posted on the property of 1/21/2026. Certified mailed was delivered, I don't think it was picked up, on 1/21/26. Like I said, I observed there were some openings that were infilled, existing windows removed and infilled. There were new windows installed, new sliding glass doors, new electrical panel was installed in the rear, and there was interior renovations that were done to the bathrooms and kitchen. The pictures shown do truthfully and accurately depict the alleged violations that I am testifying to. Permits and inspections are required for these violations. Permits have been applied for and they have been issued since this has started. No inspections have been done. I have been in contact with the owners and they're going through the process. So at this point, I am going to give them 60 days so they can fulfill the obligation of getting these permits inspected and passed, and after that 50 days, time to bring, all this.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. And did you say $50 per day?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including photos and testimony into evidence.
Without objection, so admitted. So this is installation of windows and doors, electrical, and renovations in the kitchen and bathroom without permits and inspections?
Yes.
And you've spoken to them, they filed for the permits, but they haven't been issued yet?
No, they have been
They've
issued.
been issued, they just haven't been closed yet?
Exactly.
All right, and you want to give them 60 days to close these?
I think that's enough time. All they have to do is inspections. And the
Okay.
work was done already, so
All right. And you believe that's a reasonable amount of time?
I do.
Okay. In case CEBLD 25100853, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of the listed code sections, specifically work without permits that requires permits. Respondent has 60 days to come into compliance or a fine of up to $50 per day may issue.
Thank you.
Number 3, case number CE 260-14710, address 6907 69th Way.
Good morning. My name is Olivia Thomas, Code Enforcement Officer with the City of West Palm Beach. On January 26, 2026, after the tax department and I made multiple attempts to contact the property owner via phone, email, and USPS, I posted a notice of violation at 6907 69th Way regarding a delinquent tax payment. This constitutes a violation of Code 22-441 for the rental license and Code 22-32A for the certificate of use. The notice included my contact information and details regarding today's hearing. I completed an affidavit of 2025. On February 11th, 2026, I visited 6907 69th Way for the rental inspection. The inspection failed, therefore preventing the issuance of the license. The notice of violation was sent certified mail on February 11th, 2026 and returned the next day. During the inspection, I took photos which accurately and truthfully depict the violations I observe. I have had contact with the owner's representative who's here today, James Allen, and there is email correspondence included in the file. The city is requesting 30 days to comply or a one-time fine of $250 for violation 22-441 for the rental license and a fine of $100 per day for violation 22-32A for the certificate of use until compliance is achieved.
Thank you for your testimony. Special Magistrate of the City would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony of the officer, into evidence.
Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
James Allen.
Mr. Allen, do you have any objection to the documents and testimony of the officer being entered into evidence?
No.
Without objection, so admitted. Mr. Allen, tell me what's going on.
So as soon as we got the notice posted on the door, my tenant notified me 2 to 3 days later as they were out of town. Unfortunately, didn't get any of the email correspondences. USPS never got that. So receiving the notice on the door was the first we knew we had an ongoing issue. Since then, we've been in constant communication, pretty much daily, sometimes minutes, hours, never more than a day or two. Done the whole process, made the application again, which turns out we didn't need to do, just had to make a payment, needed the payment link. That was done 20 minutes later. Went through zoning inspection, I believe was the next step, then the code inspection. There's tenants living in the property, so we had to schedule with them and their animals, large dogs that they needed to remove or be home to take care of. And then unbeknownst to us, their dogs had destroyed our window screens, the mosquito nets, which we need for rental properties. And then there was a small leak they never reported to us, so we're just in the process of trying to get those screens replaced and the leak repaired and then have them come back out to do the final inspection.
The city asked me to give you 30 days. Is that a sufficient amount of time for you, sir?
It would be. Frankly, we can have her out there by the end of the week as long as her schedule allows for it, so 14 days would even be fine.
I'll give you the 30 days just in case, because things happen.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
But yeah, I just want to emphasize, pretty much since we were made aware, every day has been steps to complete this as timely as possible. So
I'm glad
I
to
would
hear.
request no fines or penalties at this time.
Yeah, the only fine or penalty will happen if the things aren't completed in 30 days.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. In case CE 260147110, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. Find the property in violation of 22441 rental license BTR. I'll give the respondent 30 days to come to compliance or a one-time fine of $250. I find the property in violation of 2232A, which is certificate of use. I'll give the respondent 30 days to come into compliance or a fine of up to $100 per day may issue. Good luck.
Thank you.
Number 9, case number CE 260-14674, address 1015 Green Street.
Good morning. Joseph LaPerna, Code Enforcement Officer for West Palm Beach. On I'm representing today Officer Sapia Gazaneo, who's no longer employed with the city. On January 20th, 2026, while on patrol, Officer Sapia Gazaneo's attention was called to the residential property located at 1015 Green Street in West Palm Beach. She stated that she observed several violations. The notice of violation was posted on the property January 21st, 2026. Certified and regular mail were sent on January 30th, 2026. Certified mail was returned February 11th, 2026. The affidavit of posting was completed and filed on January 21st, 2026, and is in the case file. On February 17th, 2026, Code Enforcement Supervisor Kevin Levine revisited the property for a final inspection before today's hearing and found the property not in compliance, photographing the items still in violation. Section 94-442-C-1, noting that the landscaped areas must be grass or other suitable plant material. And Section 94-442-E, noting that grass must be planted in the swale on the right-hand side of the property. Photographs were taken by Officer Sapia Gazaneo at the initial investigation on January 20th, 2026, and again by Code Supervisor Kevin Levine on February 17, 2026. And these photographs accurately and truthfully depict the violations and corrections observed by officers during the course of this investigation. There has been contact with the property owner who is present, and we discussed the corrections needed to be made, and we are asking to give her 30 days to make those corrections to the landscape, or a $100 fine per day after those 30 days until the property achieves full compliance.
Thank you, sir. Special Magistrate of the City would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony into evidence.
Ma'am, can you tell me your name, please?
Rosa Ruiz.
And Ms. Ruiz, you are the owner of the
Mother
property?
is the owner. She's sitting right here.
I'm sorry, say that again?
My mother, Evangelina Ruiz, is the owner.
Okay. So your mother is the owner of the property?
Yes, she's right here.
And she's here?
She just doesn't speak English.
Okay. Ma'am, do you have any objections to the documents and testimony the city would like to put in evidence?
No, that's fine.
Without objection, so admitted. So the city says you need some grass in your both swale and on the property, and they want to give you 30 days.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Is that enough time for you, ma'am?
It does. I just, as I had explained to him, I just wanted to let you know, the only notice I received was one that I got directly in the mail just this Monday, so it was delivered to me over the weekend. Apparently it went somewhere wrong because the envelope came all taped up. But on here, I wanted to note it. The letter that is on here is dated January 20th, telling me that it needs to be fixed by February 3rd. But it was sent, the stamp from here was February 4th. The post office receiving it February 5th. So even when it was mailed, even if I'd gotten it immediately, I would have gotten it after the time that I was able to correct. I came by here yesterday and they told me I had to come here. This gentleman was wonderful and is helping me out here.
I appreciate that.
That's all
I
I
think
wanted
they did
noted.
testify it was posted on the property on January 21st.
I'm sure that it was. The tenant swears it wasn't, but I can't say that it wasn't because
This is
I'm
a
sure
rental
that,
property?
I'm sure that it was.
Yeah.
It's a rental
Yeah,
property.
but
yes.
you might want to just make sure that all your addresses and documentation and contact information is up to date with the city. That way you can make sure you get it.
That's it. It came to the right address here. The only issue is, like I said, it was mailed the day after my compliance date.
Yeah, then I can't speak to it. I don't know if the officer can speak to that.
Supervisor Pesmino also advised her that there can be delays in getting the mail out. If it's sent to the, I know in my own case, sometimes my mail goes to the unit next door to me, and some neighbors aren't as courteous as others. I can't explain, I can't testify as to why she got the mail late. But I did, there is a photograph of it posted, a date and time stamp photograph
No,
of it
that
posted.
I understand. I'm not
But
going against
we can't
anything.
control
I
the
just,
tenants.
No, right. It's just that
All right, fair
it
enough.
was mailed
Let me
from
just
here.
get to the 30 days. Is that enough time for you?
Perfect. Thank you. I
Okay,
appreciate
all right.
it.
I'll give you the 30 days. In case CE 2601467 I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of listed code section, specifically the missing grass. Respondent has 30 days to bring the property in compliance, or a fine of up to $100 per day may issue. Good luck.
Thank you.
Number 12, case number CE 2601461, address 2100 Echo Lake Drive.
Good morning. Kishana Watson-Foster, Code Enforcement Officer with the City of West Palm Beach. While on routine patrol, I observed several violations at a property located at 2100 Echo Lake Drive. The outstanding violation includes section 18-106-L, landscape requirement. There still be areas of missing sod. 18-106-G, paint, the facial board has still discoloration. I initiated my investigation on January 8, 2026. The city issued a notice of violation which identified the violation, include my contact information, and provided notice of today's hearing. This notice was mailed regular mail on February 10th by the city clerk. In addition, I posted a notice of violation at the property and city on January 28, 2026, and I completed an affidavit posted on that date, which is located in the case file. On February 17, 2026, I revisited the property and found that it remained out of compliance. Photographs were taken during my initial and follow-up visits. These photographs accurately and truthfully depict the violations as I've observed them. I have been in contact with the property owner. At this time, the city respectfully requests the property owner be granted 30 days to comply, if not a fine of $100 per day.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony into evidence.
Ma'am, can you tell me your name and the name of the gentleman that's with you? Ma'am? Ma'am, over here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Can you tell me your name, please?
Carolyn Powery.
I'm sorry, one more time. Carolyn,
Lyn, Carolyn, Powery, P as in Paul, O-W-E-R-Y.
And who do you have with you, Ms. Powery?
My husband, Alan Powery.
And you're both the owners of the property?
Yes.
Do you have any objections to the photographs, documents, or testimony the city would like to put in evidence?
Well, I have some updated photographs.
Hold on one second. I promise we'll get to that. I just need to know if you object to what they showed.
No, but I just needed some more clarification.
All right.
Exactly what.
For the
they
record,
were
I'm going to accept that
requesting.
into evidence. Go ahead.
Pardon me?
I'm going to accept their documents into evidence. Now you can tell me your clarification.
Okay. The grass that she's referring to, I know initially it was about the grass, where a car was parked, so it was missing grass there. So we moved the car, the grass has been replaced, so we went ahead and just redid our whole front yard. So I guess when she took a picture yesterday, part of the grass was still missing because of weather issues and issues with the grass company. And a holiday, we had to wait until my lawn person was able to get the grass, so he did put most of it down yesterday in the front. So we have 45 more pieces to put in. And the fascia?
Fascia board.
The fascia board, I think we needed more clarification with that because we did paint some fascia board, but we painted the fascia board in the back of the house. But when she sent me a picture this morning, which is the first time I ever got any pictures of what exactly she was referring to, it showed the fascia board and the wall that's next to the, that's part of the garage, the garage wall. So that we'll take care of that now because now we know specifically what she's requesting.
She wants to give you 30 days. Is that enough time to bring your property into compliance?
That would be because I have been under the weather for the last 7 weeks. My husband has been my caretaker, so this is really my first time really being able to get out. So that would be appreciative.
All right. I'll give you the 30 days. They understand what they have to fix?
They should. I mean, the back of the yard was never an issue from get-go because I've never been to the back of the house.
Okay. All right, ma'am, I'm going to give you the 30 days. Just let the code officer know when the property is in compliance so that she can come out and inspect it, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right. In case CE 2601461, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of 18106G, the paint on the fascia board, and 18106I, the missing sod. Respondent has 30 days to come into compliance or a fine of up to $100 per day may issue. Good luck, ma'am.
Thank you. Number 24, case number CE 2601417, address 509 52nd Street.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Code Officer Apicella with the City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This is 509, correct? Yeah, okay. Your Honor, this property was called to my attention as per an expired rental license list that we were given at the beginning of January. And we initiated investigations. I initiated investigation at the aforementioned property and found that the rental license has been expired since 9/30/2021. I visited the property on 1/23/2026 and verified that the apartments are in fact rented by making contact with the renters. I also verified the ownership to be the party, this gentleman who's, I've had zero contact with him after several attempts. It also shows in the property appraiser that they have another property that is homesteaded, and that one is listed as the mailing address. Several attempts were made to contact the listed owners via phone, phone number that is listed in the city's records. The voicemail indicates that a message cannot be left due to the mailboxes not being set up. So I had no opportunity to contact them, and I believe the email address that we have on file is not valid. The notice of violation was posted on the property on 1/26/26. Certified mail and UPS mail was sent on 2/4/26. Certified mail was delivered on 2/13/26. The city is requesting 30 days and a one-time fine of $250 for the rental license and $250 a day for their certificate of use.
Thank you, sir. Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony as evidence.
Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
Doses Velmi.
And you're the owner of the property, sir?
Yes.
Sir, do you have any objections to the documents or testimony the city would like to put in evidence?
Can you say it again?
Do you have any objection to the documents or testimony the city would like to put in evidence?
No.
Without objection, I'll accept that in evidence. So the city says that you don't have a rental license. So tell me what's going on.
So I'm going to take care of it today.
I'm sorry?
I'm going to take care of everything today.
You're going to have to speak up a bit better into
So
the...
I'm going to take care of this matter today.
Oh, you're going to take care of it today?
Yes.
Okay. The city wants to give you 30 days to do this. I think it's going to take more than a day. It probably needs an inspection, I suspect, right, officer?
Yes.
I believe so, Your Honor, and my supervisor would also like a note put into the file that apparently this gentleman has a history and is consistently in the delinquent of this. As I said, this is, at this time, it's been delinquent since 2021.
Sounds like it's been a long time since you paid your taxes, sir.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to give you 30 days to address this, but it might take longer than you think, so I would get to work on it as soon as you can, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right. In case CE 2601417, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of 2232A, certificate of use. Give the respondent 30 days to bring that into compliance, or a fine of up to $250 per day may issue. I find the property in violation of 22441 The absence of a rental license, I give the respondent 30 days to bring that into compliance, or a one-time fine of $250.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Alan.
Number 13, case number CE 250-94139, address 4401 North Terrace Drive.
Good morning, Kishana Watson Foster, Code Enforcement Officer with the City of West Palm Beach. While on routine patrol, the property located at 4401 North Terrace Drive was cited for several violations that was observed with some gaining compliance. The own signing violation includes section 18-106-L, landscape requirement. There are areas in the front that is still missing grass, and on the side, 94-71-C, outdoor storage. They have fridge, exercise machine sitting in the garage area. I initiated my investigation on September 25th, 2025. The city issued a notice of violation which identified the violation, include my contact information, and provide notice of today's hearing. The notice was mailed by both certified and regular mail on January 30th, 2026 by the city clerk. The certified mail was received and signed for on February 6, 2026. In addition, I posted a violation at the property and City Hall on September 30th, 2025 and January 28th, 2026 due to the case being rescheduled. I completed an affidavit posting on both dates, which is located in the case file. On February 17, 2026, I revisited the property and found that it remained out of compliance. Photographs were taken during my initial and follow-up visits. These photographs accurately and truthfully depict violations as I observed them. I have been in contact with the property owner, and emails have been located in the case files as well. At this time, the city is respectfully requesting 30 days to gain compliance or a fine of $100 per day.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony into evidence.
Ma'am, can you tell me your name, please?
My name is Yulcy, spelled Y-U-L-C-Y.
And your relationship to the owner of the property?
I'm his daughter, and I'm currently taking care of the property.
I'm sorry,
I'm his daughter.
you're the daughter of the owner?
Yes, and I'm taking care of the property on his behalf.
Okay. And does he know that you're here on his behalf?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any objections to the documents or photographs or other testimony the city would like to put in evidence?
I just have a question regarding the outside.
Hold on, I promise I'll let you ask your question. You have to answer mine first, which is whether you have an objection to the documents, photographs, or testimony the city would like to put in evidence.
I'm gonna say yes.
Okay, what's your objection?
It's regarding the outside storage, and then also like when, is this because of the violation we got in February or September? Because I did come in after September, and I was told that we were in compliance with everything, even though everything was still in the area. So I'm confused on whether or not it's a violation.
Okay. Again, for the record, I'm going to accept in evidence the testimony and evidence and documents as city's composite exhibit, because that's not really an objection to that, but I will let the officer answer. She seems confused about what she's being cited for.
Correct, because I'm not sure about when she came in, because I've never had an interaction in office. I've had emails, and I responded to all emails. This case was only rescheduled because I was out of the office in December.
Okay, I came in October, I believe, or I think it was December 3rd, something like that, was my original one. And then when I came in the front, the gentleman said, you have been compliant, and you don't have a hearing today.
Do you understand what she's talking about?
Like I said, I'm not sure about that, because I'm not sure which gentleman, but it's never gained compliance.
Put the most recent photo up, and let's see whether or not she's in
February,
compliance.
yesterday.
Is this it? Is this the most recent photo?
Go back to the one yesterday. So all of these sitting here.
I understand those pictures were taken, but why I'm confused is when I came in and the gentleman said, did your code officer...
No one's holding you to that. It's just a question of whether you're compliant today.
No, I'm not saying anybody's holding me up to it, and I'm not, disregarding anybody's claims. I'm just saying what I was told here by one of your code enforcement officers. He said you do not have a hearing, which means you were compliant. So I was not aware that that was supposed to be taken away again in February which is why we were confused and why we're still here.
Okay, well, I'm looking at it. Looks like you're missing some grass.
Okay.
And it looks like, what's the outdoor storage? Is it that stuff in the garage?
Correct. There's exercise machine. There's always like random things in there.
Okay, that's fine. So can you please elaborate on what exactly needs to be taken from the area?
So anything that's not outside furniture needs to be taken.
Okay, so every single item in that picture?
Correct.
Okay, that's okay.
So it looks like just got to remove those things and put down the grass.
Okay, more grass, correct?
Yeah, the city wants to give you 30 days. Is that enough time for you, ma'am?
Yes, may I ask when those pictures were taken?
Yesterday.
That one was taken yesterday?
That's correct.
I'm sorry, that one was taken yesterday?
That's
I
correct.
think all of these were taken yesterday.
All of those.
Let me see. Sorry, I have a picture here, so I just want to confirm that it matches my pictures. Do you mind going back to
Go back to that one, Monique.
with the side view? And then you just said more grass needs to be put on, correct?
That is correct.
No, for the that side right there. Okay, more grass needs to be put on. Okay. And then I'm sorry, how many days?
30 days?
30 days to avoid any fines?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, in case CE 25094-139, I make the following findings of fact and law. If my notice is sufficient, I find the property in violation of 9471C for the outdoor storage in the garage and 18106I for the missing sod. Respondent has 30 days to come into compliance or a fine of up to $100 per day may issue. Good luck. Please let the officer know when you are in compliance, okay?
Thank you.
Number 26, case number CE 260-14569, address 515 43rd Street.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
This reference to case number 260-14569, address of 515 43rd Street. While on routine patrol, I came across this property on 1/2/26, where I tried to make contact with the residents there, and again on 1/5/2026 with no luck. I observed the following violations, which are noted by the photographs that I took that were taken by me and accurately depict what I observed. 34-102, 18-105K, inoperative vehicle. There are actually two vehicles that are not registered. They have flat tires. Restricted vehicle. They have a large trailer on the property. They also cited them for that they need a certificate of use and rental license. It turns out that the property is being rented and does not have a rental license or a certificate of use. Trash and debris for 18106A, 94-71-C outdoor storage, and 74-34A-1-H trash can in public view. When I went by again on 1/26/26, none of the violations have been complied. In fact, the trash and debris still existed on the property and somehow accumulated more. Trash cans remain in public view. Restricted trailer, the vehicle has not been removed. Tires and other debris remained in sight. The junk inoperative vehicles still remain with flat tires and expired tags. I met with Mr. Lisnoff, who's the property's representative, on 1/7/2026 and hand-delivered the notice of violation to him. Certified mail and UPS was sent on 1/13/2026 and received on 2/13/2026. I have been in contact with the owner's representative, Mr. Listnoff, and he's working on getting the issues corrected. Now, I did speak with him yesterday and just prior to this hearing. Apparently, he's having a problem getting workmen inside the property so that they can get the rental license and the certificate of use. He did indicate that they are working diligently to clean up the exterior of the property on what I viewed. So the city's going to ask for 45 days, one-time fine of $250 for the rental license, and $100 a day for the certificate of use and the other violations.
Thank you, sir. Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony into evidence.
Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
Jonathan Listnoff.
Can you spell your last name for me, sir?
L-I-S as in Sam, N-O-F as in Frank, F as in Frank.
Listnoff?
Yes, sir.
Is that right? Okay. And Mr. Listnoff, what's your position with the owner, ECO 424 LLC?
I'm the property manager on behalf of the owner.
Mr. Listnoff, do you have any objection to the documents, photographs, and testimony the city would like to put in evidence?
I do not.
Without objection, so admitted. So tell me what's going on.
Yeah, exactly what the code officer mentioned. We've had some problems getting into the unit, keys changed, and so on and so forth. But we've rectified all the issues, and we'll have everything completed within the 45 days that the code officer recommended.
The code officer suggested 45 days. Does that work for you?
Yes, it does.
Okay. All right, in case CE 260-14569, find notice is good and sufficient to find the property in violation of listed code sections, and I adopt by reference to testimony of the code officers the nature of those violations. As to code section 22441, respondent has 45 days to come to compliance or a one-time fine of $250. As to the remaining code sections, respondent has 45 days to come to compliance or a fine of up to $100 per day may issue. Good luck.
Thank you.
Number 27, case number CE 251-24478, address 505 25th Street.
Morning, Your Honor. Code Officer Abasela of the City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. Case number CE 251-24478. Address is 505 25th Street. On 12/5/2026, I referred to this property by my supervisor in reference to several violations, including improper signage. I took several pictures and documented my observances, and they are noted in the case file. Made contact with the owner on 12/10/2026 and hand-delivered the NOV. I also explained the violations in detail. This gentleman, Mr. Muhammad, is the owner of the property. I've been in several contact with him, actually on a regular basis. He has complied with every other violation that was issued to him, with the exception of apparently he changed the sign after a hurricane and did not obtain a permit. So the permit has been applied for on 1/29/26, and according to the city's records, it should be completed by 2/25. So the city's asking for 30 days or $50 a day.
Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
Mohammed Khan.
Mr. Khan, do you have any objections to the documents, photographs, and testimony of the code officer?
No.
All right, so admitted. Sorry, I jumped the gun on you, but all right. Mr. Khan, the city is telling me that you need a permit for your signs, that you've applied for one, and that it's probably coming out, and they just want to give you 30 days to come into compliance. Does that work for you?
Yes. Wonderful.
Okay, so we will do that. In case CE 251-24478, make the following findings of fact and live. Find notice is sufficient. Find the property in violation of 94402E1. Sign permit required. I'll give the respondent 30 days to come to compliance or a fine of up to $50 per, was it 50 you were seeking? Officer?
I'm sorry?
The fine you were seeking was what, 50?
$50 a day.
Or a fine of up to $50 per day may issue. Please let the officer know when you're in compliance, okay? All right, fantastic.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Number 1, case number CE 260-14572, address 534 Clematis Street.
Good morning. Richard Pasmino, Code Enforcement Supervisor, presenting this case for Code Officer Donald Williams, who's not here today. The property at 534 was cited on January 5th, 2026, in response to a complaint regarding a food truck being parked on a vacant lot. The food truck was approved by zoning, but under research, it was discovered that the property owner does not have the required commercial rental tax for renting the property to the food truck operator. The property was cited for 82-144, business tax receipt required. Service was accomplished. The city issued notice of violation to the property owner and the registered agents for the property, which identified the violations, the officer's contact information, and notice of today's hearing. Notice of violation and notice of hearing was sent via certified and regular mail on January 14th, 2026, and was received signed on January 20th, 2026. The notice of violation was also posted at the property on January 5th, and the affidavit of posting is completed and in the case file. As of this morning, there are no applications in our system for the property, and the food truck is still parked and stored at the property. The city's requesting 15 additional days to comply, or we're asking for a one-time fine of $250.
Thank you, sir. Special Magistrate of the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony into evidence.
Without objection, so admitted. Do you think that 15 days is enough time to do this?
It should be, yes. If they come into the city and there's no inspections required, it's just zoning approval.
And how long does that typically take?
If they're on top of it, it could be the same day, less than a week.
Have you had any contact with the owner?
There's no contact noted in the case. I haven't had so I did go out to their neighboring property and met with the owner's representative, and we mentioned it back in January, and since then it hasn't been taken care of. That was the only contact I had myself when I assigned this case to the officer.
Okay. All right, in case CE 260-14572, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice sufficient. Find the property in violation of 82144, the business tax receipt for the food truck business on the property. Respondent has 15 days to come into compliance, or a one-time fine of $250 will issue.
I just want to clarify, it's for the property owner leasing out the property. Thank you.
Number 4, case number CE 260-14782, address 1333 13th Street.
Are we done with all the represented ones?
I don't know.
Is that lady here for a case?
Here for code case? Yes. Are you here?
Oh.
He wants to sign off on something.
I just want to make sure nobody's sitting here waiting for us to call them when they're...
Exactly.
Okay. I'm sorry, officer. Please go ahead.
It's okay. Good morning, Code Officer K. We were with the City of West Palm Beach. While patrolling in my zone, I observed several violations at 1333 13th Street. I took photos of the violations which accurately and truthfully depict the violations observed. I initiated my investigation on January the 30th of 2025, citing multiple violations. 2026, citing multiple violations. The remaining violations
Still making that mistake myself.
94-482-A, parking requirements, trailer and grill parked on the grass. 74-34-A-1-H, trash can in public view. 18-106-M, maintaining the landscape dead and bare areas in the front yard of the property. 94-487-B-1, removing prohibited vehicles, being the barbecue grill and the trailer with the miscellaneous items from the grass. and the front side of the property. 94-71C, outdoor storage, removing miscellaneous cones, wood pieces, concrete pieces, etc. from public view. The notice of violation was posted at the property and City Hall on January the 30th of 2026. Regular mail was sent on February the 11th of 2026 to the mailing address listed on the property appraisers. I have spoken with the owner, Robin, who stated she would work on complying the violations. The city is requesting an additional 30 days to gain compliance or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you, ma'am. Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony as evidence.
Without objection, so admitted. So, Officer Weaver, you said you've spoken to the respondent?
Yes.
And you walked through the violations with them?
She doesn't live there, but we went over each violation, and she said that it was going to be complied, but as of yesterday, nothing has been done yet.
Do you believe 30 days is a sufficient amount of time to bring these into compliance?
Yes, sir.
All right, in case CE 260-14782, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. Find the property in violation of listed code sections and adopt by reference the testimony of the code officers to the nature of those violations. Respondent has 30 days to come to compliance or fine of $100 per day may issue.
Thank you.
Number 5, case number CE 25114427, address 618 53rd Street.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
My name is Neil Maharaj, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement Officer, case number CE 25114427, to the property of 618 53rd Street, issued on November 25th, 2025, to the owner St. Hubert Mary G. I am the custodian of record for this case, as the issuing officer is no longer employed with the City of West Palm Beach. I have conducted a progress check of the property as of February 12th, 2026, and as a result, the following violations remain not in compliance. 94-442-C-1, landscaped areas must be grassed or sodded. 18-106-A, property to remain in clean and sanitary state. 78-6-2, house numbering standards. As of right now, the house number is on the door. It should be on the actual structure. 4 is 94-71-C, outdoor storage. In the original inspection from the previous officer, I see that the outdoor storage was for what's behind the fence. On my day of reinspection, February 12th, the fence was actually closed off. So I was not able to confirm if it was removed since I couldn't see it. 34-102-A, junk, abandoned vehicle. There's a vehicle that was originally spotted on the driveway, I believe like an older Corolla, and it had flat tires on it. On my day of reinspection, the vehicle was still there, but it was covered, but I could still see it was the same vehicle with the same flat tire. The certified mail was delivered on December 10th, 2025. And the NOV was posted as of November 19th, 2025, with the affidavit of posting notarized in the files. As of right now, all the violations remain at this time, and the derelict vehicle is now covered but still in the front of the home, visible to the public. The trash and debris are still on the front yard. The front lawn still requires replacing or adding of sod grass. The housing number does not meet standards as it's still on the front door, and the gate was closed where the outdoor storage was originally viewed, so unable to confirm. The city is requesting 30 days to comply or a 100 fine per day to run.
Thank you, sir. Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony into evidence.
Without objection, so admitted. When was the notice of hearing filed, and when was that? How was that served?
So that was with the NOV when it was confirmed delivered on December 10th, and also posted November 19th.
For today's date?
February 18th, 2026, correct.
Okay. All right, so we're talking about missing sod and grass, trash and debris on the property, numbers that aren't on the structure but on the door. I think you're kind of stuck on the outdoor storage. If you can't see it and the officer who saw it isn't here, we're going to have to let that one go. The vehicle's still there, though?
Yes, correct.
All right. All right, in case CE25, and you said you've had no contact?
I did not. I attempted to knock on the door and there was no doorbell.
And they haven't reached out to you in any way?
No.
And you think 30 days is a reasonable amount of time to bring this into compliance?
Judging by the date of the issuance of this case and not having any contact with them.
I know we're all tempted to do that, and I certainly understand, considering how long that they've had, that sort of weighs in our mind. But the question I really need to know is whether, if I tell them to start today, whether 30 days will be enough time for them to bring this into compliance.
I personally believe so. As I said, I'm not the issuing officer for this case, so I can't speak on if he had contact. In the case notes, there was nothing noted.
But you think if I gave them 30 days, that would be enough time for them to
Yes.
bring these violations into compliance? Yes, okay. All right, in case CE25114427, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in the violation of 94442C1, missing sod and grass, 18106A, which is trash and debris on the property, 7862, which is the numbering, has to be on the structure, not on the door, and 34102, 18105K, inoperable vehicles. Respondent has 30 days to come to compliance or fine of up to $100 per day may issue.
Number 6, case number CE25114370, address 705 57th Street.
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Neil Maharaj, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement Officer. Case number is CE25114370 to the property of 705 57th Street. Case was issued on November 18th, 2025 to the owner, CAD Housing LLC, in care of Kennedy Annie. I am the custodian of record for this case as well. The issuing officer is no longer employed with the City of West Palm Beach. I've conducted a progress inspection on the property as of February 12th, 2026, and as a result, the following violations remain not in compliance. 18-95-A, electrical outlets. There's 3 outlets in the dwelling that have no power going to them. 18-103-E, weather-tight windows, hardware. So that's referenced. There's a front door, back door that aren't properly sealed off. You can see there's some light coming in from outside. 22-32-A, certificate of use. 18-103-C, interior walls, ceilings. The drywall in the washroom closest to the living room, it has like some patchy drywall that needs repairing or replacing, as well as over the shower where the light fixture is. The drywall needs to be fixed. 22-441, rental license for the unit. It is a rental. The tenant was the one who allowed me into the unit to conduct my reinspection. Like I stated, I was able to contact the tenant at the home, Cynthia, and conduct a progress inspection of the property. After conducting my progress check, I observed that all violations remain not in compliance, besides the rear door egress, which is now accessible and was previously sealed off. You couldn't open that door. The certified mail was delivered on November 24th, 2025, and the NOV was posted on November 19th, 2025, with the affidavit of posting notarized in the case files. Late yesterday evening, Cynthia emailed me and let me know that some workers had come by and they had actually fixed the drywall, she says, in the restroom, the bathroom. And also the front door was replaced, but still required sealing around the door. And the outlets have been fixed. I have been unable to confirm that myself since I got the email yesterday, but that came from the tenant, so. The city is requesting 30 days to fully comply or a $100 fine per day.
Thank you, sir. Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony into evidence.
Without objection, so admitted. So they started fixing it, but they haven't reached out to you.
I've only been in contact with the tenant, and I told her to notify me as soon as they started working on it if it was before this hearing date. So she reached out.
But no evidence that they've filed for their rental license or certificate of use?
So the thing with that is, I believe that when I looked into it, the rental license and certificate of use are issued, according to the PAPA, to the correct ownership, but they've failed to do a name change. So it doesn't match the PAPA currently what's on the rental application. So as you...
So the name of the owner of the property changed?
It was like a deed, one of those small deeds, but it is the same owner. It's just the name was changed, and they failed to change the name on the rental license.
The rental license.
Therefore, it technically shows issued in the system, but it's not to the correct name.
Do you think that maybe they don't understand that they still have to do that, huh?
Yeah, I would like to make contact with the actual owner. I've asked the tenant for that information, but have not received it as yet. So.
All right, in case CE 25114370, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient enough in the property in violation of the listed code sections. Give the respondent, I adopt by reference the testimony of the code officer as to the nature of those violations. I give the respondent 30 days to come into compliance or a fine of $100 per day may issue.
Thank you.
Number 7, case number CE 251-24523, address 714 51st Street, complied. Number 8, case number CE 251-24520, address 727 50th Street, complied. Number 9, case number CE 260-1467. I'm sorry, scratch that one, we've done that one. Number 10, case number CE 260-14574, address is 354 Edmore Road.
Good morning. Joseph LaPerna representing Officer Sepia Gezaneo, who is no longer with the city. On January 6th, 2026, while on patrol, her attention was called to the residential property located at 354 Edmore Road in West Palm Beach. She stated she observed several violations. The notice of violation with the officer's contact info and date of today's hearing was posted on the property January 8th, 2026. Certified and regular mail were sent on January 14th, 2026. Certified mail was received and signed for on February 20th, 2026. The affidavit of posting was completed and filed on January 8th, 2026, and is in the case file.
Roll back for me for a second. The certified mail was, you said February 20th, 2026? That hasn't happened yet.
January 20th.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right.
Thank you. On February 18th, Code Enforcement Supervisor Kevin Levine revisited the property for a final inspection before today's hearing and found the property not in compliance, photographing the items still in violation 78-31, the pavement that was done without a permit. And section 94-482-D-1, noting that the driveway that was placed was not 3 feet from the side of the property line setback. Photographs were taken by the initial officer, Sepia Gazaneo, at the initial investigation on January 6, 2026, and again by Code Supervisor Kevin Levine on February 18, 2026. These photographs accurately and truthfully depict the violations and corrections observed by officers during the course of the investigation. There has been contact, and it was noted in the case file. Mr. Wilson, the owner of the property, contacted Officer Sepia Gazaneo on the morning of January 23rd, 2026, to advise that he did move the boat trailer, but he is not moving the concrete slab. Advised he or a representative should speak to the special magistrate about it, as he stated he will be out of the country for the next 2 months. Officer Sepia Gazaneo re-inspected the property and documented that indeed the boat trailer had been moved. The city is therefore asking for 30 days for the owner to achieve full compliance or be subject to a fine of $100 per day after those 30 days until the property achieves full compliance.
Thank you, sir. Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony into evidence.
So nobody that took the photos is in the room?
Yes, my Supervisor Kevin Levine took the reinspection.
That would help.
photos.
I need him.
Okay.
Good morning, sir.
Officer Levine, I need you to testify whether the photos are a fair and accurate representation of what you witnessed.
Absolutely.
You just have to say that.
The photographs depicted the violations that I saw when taking the photograph yesterday.
You took those photographs?
Yes, sir.
And they're a fair and accurate representation of what you saw?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you, sir. Without objection, I'll admit those into evidence as city's composite exhibit. So you want to give them 30 days? Is that enough time to get a permit on this driveway?
If I've had them in my experience, they've been 30 days is more than enough. Oh, I'm sorry.
Hi, I'm sorry. Hi, my name is Suzanne Berglund, Assistant Director of Engineering for the City of West Palm Beach. I actually would recommend 60 days.
She needs to be sworn.
Oh, you haven't been sworn? Can you raise your right hand? You swear affirm the testimony you're about to give will be truthful and accurate under penalty of perjury?
Yes, I do.
Thanks.
My recommendation is to give the property owner 60 days to obtain a permit for the driveway. It's going to take a little bit longer for survey, for the documents that are going to be needed for the permit.
That seems reasonable to me, too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, case CE 260145574. If I notice is sufficient, I find the property in violation of listed code sections. Respondent has 60 days to come into compliance or a fine of up to, what were you seeking here?
$100 per day?
$100 per day will issue.
Thank you.
Number 11, case number CE 260-14600, address 917 Francis Street.
Officer Levine.
Sir. Good morning, Kevin Levine, City of West Palm Beach, in for Code Officer Natalie Sepia Gazaneo. On Friday, January 9th, 2026, I was doing a ride along with Officer Sepia Gazaneo when we came across the property located at 917 Francis Street and observed several violations. On that very said day, Officer Sepia issued a notice of violation and cited the various code sections. 34-102, in our approved vehicle, we observe a red Chevy Tahoe on blocks, body jack, and with an expired tag. sections 18103 weather type dwelling, condition of the structure, that is complied. That is the crawl space beneath the property. 18-106K landscape maintenance. The landscaping on the property needs to be completely redone. Just bear with me one second. 94-482, unpaved parking. There was a red truck parked on the grass and the vehicle, on the property, sorry. And there was also another vehicle that's parking in the swale area of the property. 94-71C, outdoor storage. What is still outside there that I observed yesterday is a toolbox that is still remaining. 94-442E, landscaping of the Swayland Parkway. There was a vehicle that was parking in the Swayland Parkway that is tore up the grass in the Swayland Parkway. And yesterday it was still parked there. 18-103F, 18-105F, the aperture, that's the awning at the front door. It was in disrepair, that is now complied.
Sorry, was that complied or not complied?
That is now complied.
Okay.
18-106A, unsanitary condition, both driveways, it's basically littered with oil stains and has to be cleaned up. The property was certified mail for this violation was sent on 1/13/2026. Certified mail was signed for on 1/20/2026. The notice of violation was also signed for by the tenant, Arturo Flores, on 1/12/2026. On 1/23/2026, Mr. Pio spoke to the property manager, Mr. Newman, and he said that the property was going to come into compliance. Upon re-inspection yesterday, the property was still out of compliance with numerous violations. I did speak with Mr. Newman this morning, and he couldn't make it to the hearing. He's requesting 30 days to come into compliance. And the city is going to request a fine of $250 per day if the property doesn't come into compliance. And the photographs taken yesterday truthfully and accurately depict the violations observed at the property.
Thank you, sir. Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony into evidence.
Without objection, so admitted. So the violations cited under 18-103, those are all in compliance? That's the weather tighting and the...
Yes, sir.
Okay. But everything else is still out?
18-103E, that's the rotten wood around the front window, that is still out of compliance. But every other 18 code is in compliance, yes.
So 18-103E is still out of compliance?
Yes, sir.
But 18-103F and 18-103A are in compliance?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you believe 30 days is a sufficient amount of time to bring this into compliance?
That is what the property manager asked for, sir.
I guess that's what he thinks, right? All right, in case CE 260-14600, I make the following finding of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of listed code sections except for 18-103A, 18-103F. I adopt by reference testimony of the code officers the nature of those violations. Respondent has 30 days to come into compliance or a fine of $250 per day may issue.
Thank you.
Number 14, case number CE 250-94138. Address is 4311 North Terrace Drive.
Good morning, Code Officer Kishana Watson-Foster with the City of West Palm Beach. While on routine patrol, the property located at 4311 North Terrace Drive was cited for several violations that were observed, with some gaining compliance. The outstanding violation includes section 18-106-L, landscape requirement, areas in the front yard missing grass. 94-71.C, outdoor storage, their board, tarp covering other items, and miscellaneous items in the 2 garage areas. I initiated my investigation on September 25th, 2025 at the property. At the time the property was occupied, the city issued a notice of violation which identified violation, my contact information, and notice of today's hearing. The notice was mailed both certified and regular mail on January 30, 2026 by the city clerk. The certified mail is awaiting to be picked up at the post office as of February 11, 2026. In addition, I posted the violation at the property and city hall on September 30th, 2025 and on January 28, 2026 due to the case being rescheduled. I completed an affidavit of posting on both dates, which is located in the case file. On February 17, 2026, I revisited the property and found that it remained out of compliance. Photographs were taken during my initial and follow-up visits. These photographs accurately and truthfully depict the violations as I observed them. I have been in contact with the property owner. We met at the property yesterday, February 17th, and we discussed the current conditions and agreed on 60 days to gain compliance. At this time, the city is requesting the 60 days and a fine of $200 per day if not achieved.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony as evidence.
Without objection, so admitted. So you spoke with the landowner and they agreed to 60 days?
Correct.
All right. In case CE 25094-138, to make the following findings of fact and life, I notice sufficient to find the property in violation of 18106I, the missing sod, 9471C, the outdoor storage, the miscellaneous items in the garage. Responded to 60 days to bring the property in compliance or a fine of up to $200 per name issue.
Number 15, case number CE 251-24464, address 5324 Garden Avenue.
Good morning. My name is Yasmin Law for the City of West Palm Beach as a code officer, and I received a civilian complaint, and after conducting an inspection, I observed multiple violations at 5324 Garden Avenue. The property is occupied. I initiated my investigation on December 18th, 2025, and the property is still in violation for the following code sections: 18-103B for weatherproofing the exterior of the property, 18-106K landscape maintenance, 34-102 and 18-105K for the inoperable vehicle with an expired tag, 18-106G for painting the entire surface of the structure, 74-34-A-1-H for the trash can being in public view, and 94-4462E for edging the entire property. The city issued a notice of violation to the property owner, which identified the violations. My contact information and the notice of this hearing was stated. The notice of violation was noticed by certified mail and regular mail on December 29th, 2025 by the city's clerk. I posted the property on December 5th, 2025, and I completed the affidavit of posting on December 5th, 2025, and it's in the case file. I took photos of the initial investigation and when I revisited the property on yesterday. These photos accurately and truthfully depict the violations I observed during my investigation. The property owner is not present, and I have not had any contact throughout the investigation. I am requesting 45 days to comply and $100 day fine thereafter.
Thank you, Ms. Law. Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony as evidence.
Without objection, so admitted. Officer Law, would you just walk me through what you observed that constituted these violations? So like 18103B, what's the issue there?
So if you look at the pictures, there are like cracks throughout the structure. And if a storm were to come, possibly, it could cause real damage to it. The property owner, however, I've driven past the property on more than one occasion, and they are doing some work. They just haven't completed it. So I do feel like they can complete it, but they're just not there yet. So there was cracks throughout the structure, but now he has stuccoed the outside portion of it in those areas that were damaged. And I noticed.
So he started but not finished?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The landscaping?
He started part of it, but hasn't finished it as well. He
And
still
that's
needs
what,
to
is
edge
that just replacing sod? Is that essentially what?
Part of it does need to be replaced now. Before it needed to be cut and just edged, but now it needs to be replaced because he's kind of just removed, I guess, maybe what he might have considered as weeds. So now there are blank areas that just are like dirt. It's just dirt, no sod there. See?
Yeah. What's the inoperable vehicle?
The vehicle in the driveway, it does not have a valid tag, and it's still there in the property.
Trash can in public view?
Yes, sir. If you look at the other pictures, you can see it from the street view. Those are the receptacles, but also the actually trash can is on the side of the property near the car.
Okay. Yeah, the paint I can see. And what's the edging issue? Is that just, again, with the landscaping?
Yes, sir, on the sidewalk, getting all of the overgrown grass from off the sidewalk. See there, sir?
And you believe 45 days is a sufficient amount of time to bring this into
I believe
compliance?
so.
All right, in case CE 25124464, I make the following findings of fact and life. I notice is sufficient to find the property in violation of the listed code sections. I adopt by reference the testimony of the code officer as to the nature of those violations. Respondent has 45 days to come to compliance, or a fine of $100 per day may issue.
Number 16, case number CE 251-24526, address 622 Little Street.
Good morning again. My name is Yasmin Law for the City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. While on routine patrol, I observed multiple violations at 622 Lyle Street. The property is occupied. I initiated my investigation on December 18th, 2025, and the property is still in violation for the following code sections: 94-485-E, parking on a non-dusting surface, and 94-482-A for the front lot not being fully sodded. The city issued a notice of violation to the property owner, which identified the violations, my contact information, and the notice of this hearing. The NOV was noticed by certified mail and regular mail on January 23rd, 2026 by the city clerk. I posted the notice of violation to the property December 18th, 2025, and I completed the affidavit of posting on December 18th, 2025, and it's in the case file. I took photos at the initial investigation and when I revisited the property on yesterday. These photos accurately and truthfully depict the violations I observed during my investigation. The property owner is not present. I have been in contact with the property owner's daughter throughout the investigation. The city's requesting 30 days to comply or $100 per day fine thereafter.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony as evidence.
Without objection, so admitted. So I could see the vehicle parking on the, I guess, the gravel side. I guess, was that the concern, that that's a non-dusting surface?
Yes, sir, and also they removed sod and replaced it with gravel in the landscape as well.
That would be the 94-482A issue?
Yes, sir.
So compliance here would be to take the gravel out and put the grass back and to
Yes,
stop
sir.
parking on it?
Yes, sir.
And you think 30 days is a sufficient amount of time for them to do that?
I do. I spoke to the property owner's daughter, so she's aware.
All right, in CE 25124526, I make the following findings of fact and law. If I notice is sufficient, find the property in violation of 94-485E, parking on a non-dusted surface, and 94-482A, the removal of sod needs to be replaced. Respondent has 30 days to come into compliance. What fine were you seeking here?
$100 a day.
Or a fine of up to $100 per day measure.
Number 17, case number CE 260-14787, address 5808 Georgia Avenue.
Good morning. My name is Yasmin Law. I'm a code enforcement officer for the City of West Palm Beach. While updating the city's business tax receipts, I observed Syncor Diamond Tools at 5808 Georgia Avenue to be delinquent and have an unpaid business tax receipt. I initiated my investigation on January 30th, 2026, and the business is still in violation for the following code section: 82-144, conducting a business within the City of West Palm Beach without a business tax receipt. The city issued a notice of violation to the business, which identified the violations, my contact information, and the notice of this hearing. The notice of violation was noticed certified mail and regular mail on February 5th, 2026 by the city clerk. I posted the property on January 30th, 2026, and I completed the affidavit of posting on January 30th, 2026. I took photos at the initial investigation and I revisited the property. These photos accurately and truthfully depict the violations I observed during my investigation. The property owner is not present. I have been in contact with the finance officer for the business, but to no avail. And the city's requesting 10 days to comply or a one-time $250 fine, excuse me.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony as evidence.
Without objection, so admitted. So there is a business operating on this property,
Yes, sir.
and there currently is no active business receipt.
No, sir.
Did you say you had spoken with them?
Yes, I spoke to them and I sent them an email with the link to pay the business tax receipt that's delinquent. However, they have not.
They just have to pay, so no reason they couldn't do that in 10 days?
Yes, sir.
In case CE 260-14787, I make the following findings of fact and law. If I notice sufficient, find the property in violation of 82-144 BTR. They need a business receipt. Respondent has 10 days to come into compliance or a one-time fine of $250.
Thank you.
Morning, Your Honor. Tony Apicella, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of West Palm Beach. On 12/29/2025, while patrolling my assigned zone, I noticed the property at 426 50th Street had several violations. I initiated an investigation on the vacant property and observed the following violations. 18-265B, boarding of building. They need to paint the boards the same color as the structure. 94-442-C1, landscape areas must be grass. 94-446-2-E, edging. 18106B, overgrowth on the property, excessive growth. 18106A, trash, debris, and litter, not unclean and sanitary. 78-94-C, swells and parkways must be sodded and kept to a height less than 6 inches. 18-214-A, paint the boards. 18-209A, registration of vacant property. 18-212-C/D, vacant building sign required. And I believe that's it. The pictures that were taken by me and actually depict my observances and were added to the case file. The property was posted on 12/31/2025, because I said 26 last time, sorry. The affidavit posting was notarized and added to the case file. Certified mail and UPS, United States Postal Service mail, was sent on 1/10/2026. Certified mail was returned on 1/17/2026. I returned to the property on 2/13/2026 to find that none of the violations had been completed. The city is requesting 30 days to comply or $100 per day.
Thank you, sir. Special Magistrate, City would like to enter the case file, including photos and testimony into evidence.
Without objection, so admitted. Have you had any contact with the owner here?
Not at all.
And it's a vacant property?
Yes, sir.
The boarding issue, is that it's boarded or that it's not boarded with a permit, or the boards
They
are
have to
painted?
have a boarding certificate that hasn't been.
So there's no boarding certificate?
Correct. It has not been obtained, and the boards must be painted the same color as the structure.
Landscaping is what, missing sod?
It's missing sod. It's
Not been cut.
It's a jungle.
The edging is not being cut. The overgrowth I can see. Trash and debris I can see.
Are those the initial
Swales and
photos?
parkways, that's missing sod, it looks like. The boards have to be painted, I can see that. There's no registration for this as a vacant property?
No, sir.
And there's no sign. Okay. And you believe 30 days is sufficient amount of time to bring this into compliance?
I believe so.
All right, in case CE 25124544, I make the following findings of fact and life. I notice is sufficient and find the property in violation. Listed code sections I adopt by reference to testimony of the code officers. The nature of those violations. Respondent has 30 days to come to compliance or fine of $100 per day may issue.
Number 25, case number CE 260-14721. Address is 300 35th Street.
Morning, Your Honor. Tony Apicella, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of West Palm Beach. As per the delinquent BTR and rental list, this property has an expired rental license as of 9/30/2023. Initiated investigation and researched the property. I visited the property on 1/15/2026 and made contact with the renters, verifying the property is in fact rented. I've had no contact with the owners. The property was posted on 1/26/26 with a compliance date of 2/9/26. NOV was sent via certified mail and USPS mail on 2/5/2026 to the mailing address noted on PAPA. Certified mail reflects that it was left as of 2/12/2026, stating no authorized person was available. The violations that continue to stand is 22-441 rental license and 22-32A obtained certificate of use. The city's requesting 30 days or a one-time fine of $250 for the rental license and $100 per day for the certificate of use.
And you've had no contact with the owner?
I have not, but the next case, Your Honor, is the same property.
I'm sorry, I jumped in a little early.
No, it's all good. Thank you, sir. Special Magistrate, city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony into evidence.
Without objection, so admitted. In case CE 260-14721, I make the following findings of fact and life. I notice sufficient. Find the property in violation of the listed code sections. As to 22441, respondent has 30 days to come into compliance, or a one-time fine of $250 per day may issue. As to 2232A, the certificate of use, respondent has 30 days to come into compliance, or a fine of $100 per day may issue.
Number 28, case number CE 251-24496, address 300 35th Street.
Good morning, Tony Apicella, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of West Palm Beach. This case was referred to me by my supervisor, who was referred by the zoning department on 12/11/2025. I visited the property for inspection on this same date. On 12/12/25, the investigation was escalated to an NOV based on my observances. On 1/22/2026, I visited the property as a courtesy to see if any of the violations were completed, and they were not. As a result of this same address showing as a delinquent since 2023 on the rental license and COU database, I also made contact with individuals who stated that they did not live there but were in fact renting. Several attempts were made via email, phone, and the tenants, I asked them to contact the owners, which they said they would. I did receive a phone call from a woman who did not want to identify herself but inquired about the property as to why I knocked on the door and spoke to the tenants. She stated that she would get in touch with the owners of the property and they would get back in touch with me. As of today, or actually yesterday, I have yet to receive any communication. On 2/12/26, I visited the property as a pre-hearing investigation, only to find none of the violations had been corrected. New photos were taken and added to the case file. The property was posted on 12/15/2025. Certified mail and United States Postal Service mail was sent on 12/19/2026, and certified mail was received on 1/20/26. The city is requesting $30 a day or $150 a day. The outstanding violations are as follows. 74-34-A-1-H, trash can in public view. 18103B, weather tight exterior. The condition of the structure, exterior wall needs to be reasonably watertight. 74-94-E, swales and parkways. Apparently the plantings that they put in the parkway are prohibited. They're not an approved situation, so that would also bring on 78-94-B, restrictions on plantings. 94-71-C, outdoor storage. As you can see in the pictures that are noted, it looks like they attempted to screen it, but the screen has been damaged, and there are pictures of building materials and so forth. Also, the roof, it looks like they put some kind of a tarp over it, and it's not in a workmanlike fashion, nor is it watertight.
So the tarp thing is the 18103B? Yeah.
Are you speaking of the outdoor storage?
Repair roof in workmanlike fashion. That's the weather-tight exterior. That's the concern.
Weather-tight exterior, yes, sir.
All right. And the trash can I can see, and the issue with the swales and restricted planting is that they have...
Not that one, that one. The entire hedge there, apparently, as per zoning, they initiated this, that is not approved. It would need to be approved ground cover in the swale or sod.
Looks like they put a privacy hedge.
Kind of, yes, sir.
Okay, and that's not approved, okay.
I did note the violations in the pictures, or the codes in the pictures.
And despite the woman reaching out to you, no one has since reached out to you? Okay.
Not at all.
All right, KCE 25124496.
Magistrate, I'm sorry to interrupt. Just for the record, I just want to move into evidence the case file, including photos and testimony, unless there's Well, there's no.
Without objection, so admitted.
Thanks.
All right, in case CE 25124496, to make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient, find the property in violation of the listed code sections. I adopt by reference to testimony of the code officers the nature of those violations. Respondent has 30 days to come into compliance or a fine of $150 per day may issue.
Thank you, Your Honor.
On to the police cases. They'll need to be sworn in.
All right, anyone that's arrived since we started this morning that is going to testify or thinks they might testify or there's a possibility that you might testify, would you please rise and raise your right hand so you can be sworn in? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be truthful and accurate under penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of Florida? All right, please be seated.
Number 18, case number PD 260-10465. Address 329 Clematis Street, Unit 101.
Anytime you're ready, officer.
Good morning. Sergeant James DeGrassi with the West Palm Beach Police Department. On Saturday, December 6, 2025, I was conducting an alcohol compliance operation in the downtown area of West Palm Beach at approximately 0020 hours. I entered the business of Myers Nightclub at 329 Clematis Street. Just inside the door, I noticed a male who appeared to be underneath the age of 21 consuming a Michelob Ultra canned beverage. I asked him for his ID. He said he did not have his ID. He was taken outside. Once outside, I asked him where his ID was, and he said it was inside the bar with his bar tab. We entered into the business again to get his ID from the bartender. Upon inspection, it was a military identification, identifying the male as Braden Fuchs, born in 2005. At the time, he was 20 years of age, and I did witness him consuming a canned alcoholic beverage with label attached. At that time, Fuchs, due to officer discretion, being active duty military on leave, he was not arrested. However, the bar was notified of the male being on the premises under the age of 21, consuming alcoholic beverage on the premises. Based on the above, Myers was cited for 65-A, person under 21 years of age prohibited, 612, violation of state law deemed violation chapter, and 613, enforcement of penalties.
And the city is seeking a $500 fine on this, is that correct, Sergeant?
Standard, correct, yes.
Absolutely, okay. Thank you for that. And Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony into evidence.
Is this a first offense?
Given the bar has somewhat of a rough history, however, they have changed management as well as owners recently. We are working with them. Manager Mr. Close is present. Since especially this date, their operations have changed. So we're giving them the opportunity to really conform and do the right thing.
Can I say something?
Yep. First, tell me your name, please.
Anthony Close.
Anthony
Close, C-L-O-S-E.
All right, Mr. Close, before I let you talk, I need to know if you object to either the testimony or documents the city would like to put in evidence here.
One more time, I'm sorry.
I need to know if you object to the testimony or evidence the city would like to put in evidence.
I don't object to the testimony. I just would like to make clear about the ownership.
Right, hold on one sec.
Yep.
So for the record, I'm going to accept into evidence the documents and testimony. All right, Mr. Close, the floor is yours. Go ahead.
Thank you. Myers was the old name of the old club. This is Forget Me Not. It's different owners, and as of I believe it's 5-6 months ago, the liquor license is under a totally different LLC. It's not with the old owner. Joe Duva is not a part of this at all. It's Christian and Mike Haddadis. It's totally different owners. So I don't feel like we should be affiliated with Myers when it's a new. It should be our first offense, is my point.
Well, they're basically treating it as such.
Okay, thank you.
The city's seeking a one-time fine of $500 under Section 613. Do you have any objection or opposition to that?
I don't really think I have an option.
Not unless what happened didn't happen.
Right.
But I think it's pretty clear that it did. All right, I'm going to issue under section 612, I'm going to find the violation occurred and issue a one-time fine in the amount of $500. And I hope under new management, that's the last time I get to see you.
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
Number 22.
We have one more with
Oh, we have
Myers.
another.
Yeah.
You're going to see me again.
Hopefully not after today, though. Our case number is 521, if that helps.
Number 21, case number PD 260-10463, address 329 Clematis Street, Unit 101.
Good morning, Sergeant James Ingracia, West Palm Beach Police Department. On Friday, January 9th, 2026, an underage alcohol compliance operation was done in the downtown area of West Palm Beach. At the time, 2 white females were used as confidential informants, both of which were at 19 years old at the time of this operation. In their possession at any given time was only their true form of identification, their Florida State issued driver's license, confirming that they are 19 years of age. At approximately 23:58 hours on Friday, January 29th, 2 CIs along with an undercover officer, Officer Knoop, approached the main doors of 329 Clematis Street, which is labeled as Myers Lounge. Hispanic male wearing black was at the door checking for identifications, and the officer showed her ID and moved slightly forward past the CIs. The CIs then handed their real Florida driver's license to the male to show that they were 19 years of age and offered him $20 US dollars each. The male took the money, placing it in his pocket, and they went into the business. Once inside the business, the CIs and the undercover officer approached the bar and ordered 2 high noon seltzers, which is vodka and juice, from a female Hispanic bartender who did not ask for their ID. They paid $30 total for the drinks. Once the entire operation was complete, I returned in uniform to the business at approximately 01:45 hours and met with manager Close, who was outside the business, and advised him of the operation. I showed him the photos of the door guy along with the bartender, who were then identified as Hispanic male Isel Cepeda and Hispanic female Isabella Geraldo Moreno. Both were issued NTAs for sale of alcohol to a minor under the age of 21 and released from the scene. Based on the above and the violation of Florida State statute, City Ordinance is 65-A, person under 21 age prohibited, 612, violation of state law deemed violation of the chapter, and 613, enforcement and penalties were violated by the business and violations were issued as such.
Thank you, Sergeant, for your testimony. And the city is seeking a $500 fine for this one as well, under Section 6-13.
Correct.
Thank you, sir. Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos and testimony as evidence.
Sir, can you state your name again for the record?
Anthony Close.
Mr. Close, do you have any objections to the testimony or documents the city would like to put in evidence here?
I would like to say that the undercover officer was very aggressive when getting in, stating that, I mean, I know it's still our job to do, but very pushy about letting them in, and that they were, that was her daughters, and please let them in, please let them in. And after speaking to other numerous bars, that they got the same story. I think that if you're going to run an operation, that they shouldn't be, I mean, once we said no the first time, it should be no, but I guess we're still not doing our job, so.
Yeah, I can't really speak to that. I will, by the way, for the record, I'm going to accept an evidence, the testimony and evidence. I don't know, is that standard practice?
What they say is usually documented by the undercover officer up front. Myself and the security that are in plain clothes who are armed usually are across the street, so we're not going to be within earshot. But the girls are under the strict guidance of Florida State Statute 562, that they cannot misrepresent their age in any way, shape, or form. That is the guidance that the state provides for undercover operations. What they say otherwise, and as long as it's not that they are of age, is up to them.
Yeah, still puts you on the hook.
So I'm going to take a hit for 2 today. No leniency here.
It's a standard violation.
All right.
PD 260-10463. I find violation of 6-13 and issue a one-time fine in the amount of $500. It does go up for repeats, so hopefully that'll be the last of it.
Thank you.
Number 19, PD 26010467-207 Clematis Street, Lenoris.
I have a special magistrate for your consideration. I have a stipulation on this case number between the city and between Lenoris. Lenoris was represented by an attorney. We reached an agreement beforehand. They agreed that they were in violation of the code of ordinances and agreed to pay a fine, and I could show that to you if you'd like.
What? Is the city asking that I accept this stipulation and issue it as a finding, or?
Yes, please.
All right, in case PD 26010467, I accept the stipulation of the parties and issue it as an order of the special magistrate.
Did that include number 20 for same case, PD 25120460? Or is that?
I don't know.
Yes, it does.
Okay. For the record, that is, I'm accepting the stipulation in both cases and issuing it as an order of the special magistrate.
Number 22525 Clematis Street, PD 26010466.
This is for Lucky's, correct?
Yes. Number 22.
You ready?
Sergeant James Ingrassia with the West Palm Beach Police Department. On Friday, January 9, 2026, West Palm Beach Police Department conducted an alcohol compliance operation on Clematis Street within the city limits of West Palm Beach. At the time, two white females who were both 19 years of age at the time were used as confidential informants and were referred to as such. There was also a plainclothes officer that was accompanying them at all times. At approximately 23:17 hours on Friday, January 9th, the two CIs and Officer Canoop, who was the undercover officer, approached the main doors of 521 Clematis Street, Lucky's Gay Bar. There was a white male at the door wearing a black shirt with the word security across the front of it. He was looking down at his cell phone and did not stop the CIs nor ask them for any ID whatsoever. Both the CIs and Officer Canoop entered the bar, approached the main bar, and ordered 2 high noon seltzers, which was vodka and juice. They paid the male bartender $20 cash and were never asked for ID. Digital photos were taken by the undercover officer of the two CIs with the drinks in their hand, along with the male bartender who served them the alcohol. Once the entire operation was complete, I returned to the business in uniform at approximately 0100 hours. Once I showed one of the male bartenders a picture of the bartender who we were looking for, they identified him as the manager Franco, who had already left for the night. However, he did return. The security person who was there, Mr. Caravallo, stated that he was security for the business. His primary duty was to verify that persons only over the age of 21 were entering the business. I showed him the photo of him sitting at the bar, and he confirmed that it was him. Once Franco arrived back, he was identified as Franco Jenkins. Both of them, from Mr. Jenkins and Mr. Caravallo, were issued NTAs for violation of Florida State Statute 562.11, Section 1A, sale of alcohol to persons under 21 years of age. Due to this violation, Lucky's Gay Bar clearly violated West Palm Beach City Ordinances 6-5A, persons under 21 prohibited, 612, violation of state law deemed a violation chapter, and 613, enforcement and penalties. This is also their second violation for the same operations within a calendar year.
What's the city seeking?
For the record, under Section 6-13, the city is seeking a one-time fine of $500. And Special Magistrate, the city would like to enter the case file, including the photos, testimony, and evidence.
Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
My name is Sean Steele.
Mr. Steele, what is your relation with Winfred Inc., DBA Lucky's Gay Bar?
So the company, the LLC was sold several months ago to our company, Pride Holdings Group. I'm a regional manager for them, and I was assigned to represent the
Sir,
company.
can you speak into the mic?
Yeah, the company was sold several months ago to Pride Holdings Group, and I'm a regional manager assigned to represent the company.
Okay. Do you have any objections to the documents or testimony the city would like to put in evidence?
No.
Without objection, so admitted. Is there anything you'd like to tell me?
Yeah, so we did purchase the bar several months ago. This is the first violation since we purchased the LLC from Mr. Lipovich, who had the bar prior to us. We do have a training program in place with all of our bars. The people who were working at the bar during that time had just recently gone through that. This is basically our first occurrence. So.
I'm going to issue the one-time fine, though I think this security guard clearly needs some,
yeah,
some training.
he's been let go since then. So.
Okay. But hopefully it sounds like you've got a handle on this, and hopefully I won't have to see you again.
Correct.
All right. And PD 260-10466, I find a violation of the listed code sections on issue a one-time fine in the amount of $500. Good luck, sir.
I need to forward how that is paid. How do I do that?
They would probably be able to tell you better than me.
Okay.
He wants to know how to pay.
Yeah, you'll get an order in the mail if you want us to email it to you. I'll have instructions at the bottom. You can write it.
I think that's it for until other matters, right?
Yeah, I never remember. What time are they at? 11:30? Maybe.
Usually they're scheduled at 11:30. Are we at 11:30 for other matters?
Yes, other matters at 11:30.
All right, we're going to adjourn till 11:30. I'm going to call us back to order. This is the special magistrate hearing for the city of West Palm Beach. This is the other matters agenda. When you carry your case called, go ahead and proceed to the podium directly on my right. The city will introduce the case, and you'll have an opportunity to ask me for whatever it is that you'd like to ask me for. Please keep in mind that I am constrained by the requirements of the code when it comes to fine reduction hearings. I hope that you've reviewed the code before asking. If you're going to testify today, or you think you might testify, or there's a possibility that you might testify, would you please rise and raise your right hand? You swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be truthful and accurate under the penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of Florida?
Yes.
All right. The city can call their cases.
Number 29, case number CE 180-40419, address 807 Handy Avenue.
Good morning. Richard Pasmino for City of West Palm Beach. Sorry. All these 8 cases are for the same property with the same owner, same representative.
So why don't we call all 8?
Number
you guys
30,
can come on up.
case number CE 11110237, address 807 Handy Avenue. You want an address on each one?
It's the same address. I think we got it.
All right. Number 31, CE 050-11049. Number 32, CE 081-00895. Number 33, CE 211-20242. Number 34, CE 100-90267. Number 35, CE 120-20455. Number 36, CE 110-70124.
Richard Pasmino, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. Case number CE 1804-0419 was cited for rental license and certificate of use violation. It was a different owner. The date ordered was June 6, 2018. The date to comply was June 18th, 2018. The fine start date was June 18th, 2018. The fine ran for 1,054 days. The date of compliance was May 7th, 2021, and the current fine is $105,400. The city has come into agreement with the owner and her representatives to reduce this lien to a previously approved rate fine of $7,500.
Can you tell me your names, please?
Hello, Richard Carey on behalf of the property owner.
And who do you have with you? Ma'am?
Angelica Castro.
And are you one of the property owners?
She's the owner.
She's the owner, okay. The city's representing that you've reached an agreement to reduce the fine from $105,400 to $7,500. Is that your understanding?
That is correct. We spoke yesterday.
How much time did you need on this one?
30 days.
30 days?
Yeah.
All right. CE 180-40419, I reduced the fine from $105,400 to $7,500, payable within 30 days. If it's not paid in that time, it returns to the original amount.
For CE 11110237, this case was cited for open unsecured property. The date ordered was February 29th, 2012. Ordered complied date is April 2nd, 2012. The fine started on April 3rd, 2012, and ran for 1,476 days. The current fine amount is $147,600, and it was brought into compliance on April 18th, 2016. The city has come into an agreement to reduce the fine to $15,000, payable within 30 days.
I'm sorry, to what?
$15,000 payable within 30 days.
Can you state your name again, sir?
Richard Carey.
And you represent the property owner.
That is correct.
Mr. Carey, the city is representing to me that the agreement is to reduce it from $147,600 to $15,000 payable within 30 days. Is that your understanding?
That is my understanding.
All right, KCE 11110-237, I reduced the fine from $147,600 to $15,000 payable within 30 days.
For case number CE 05011-049, this case was cited for unpaved parking, trash and debris, outside storage, exterior paint, and landscape areas requiring sod. For this case, the city has come into agreement to reduce this to $0. The case is older than 20 years, and so $0 reduction. Sorry, reduced to $0. The case...
That's an important distinction.
Yeah. The date ordered was April 6, 2005. Comply by date was May 20th, 2005. The fine started on May 21st, 2005. It ran for 1,598 days. The current fine amount is $159,800.
Mr. Carey, the city is, I'm going to assume you're not going to object to the city reducing this to $0.
That is correct. We spoke yesterday.
All right. All right, in KCE 05011-049, based upon the recommendation of the city, I reduce the fine to $0.
For case CE 08100-895, the property was cited for vehicles on unpaved areas, outside storage, grass requirements, exterior paint, exterior weather-tight doors and windows. The date ordered was January 28th, 2009. Complied date was set for April 29th, 2009. The fine started on April 29th, 2009, and it ran for 159 days. The current fine amount is $7,950. The case complied October 5th, 2009, and the city has come to an agreement with the owner to reduce that to $2,000 payable within 30 days.
Mr. Carey, the city is representing an agreement to reduce this fine to $2,000 payable within 30 days. Is that your agreement?
That is correct.
All right, in KCE 08100-895, based upon the agreement of parties, I reduce the fine from $7,950 to $2,000 payable within 30 days.
For case CE 211-20242, the property was cited for overgrown trees, bushes, and vegetation around the entire property, install driveway approach, repair large cracks on sidewalk up to door and driveway, and garbage can placement. The case was ordered on June 1st, 2022. It was set for compliance on July 1st, 2022. The fine started running on July 5th, 2022. It ran for 36 days. It complied on August 10th, 2022. And the current fine for this case is $1,800. The city has come into an agreement with the property owner and the representative to reduce this fine to $500 payable within 30 days.
Mr. Carey, the city is representing an agreement to reduce this fine from $1,800 to $500 payable within 30 days. Is that your agreement?
That is correct.
CE 21120-242, I reduced the fine from $1,800 to $500 payable within 30 days.
For CE 10090-267, the property was cited for overgrowth, trash, and debris. The order date was October 20th, 2010. It was a repeat case, so the fine started on September 14th, 2010, and it was found in violation for 2 days. The current fine in this case is $150. It complied 2 days later, September 16th, 2010. The city has come to an agreement with the property owner and representatives to reduce this fine to $50 payable within 30 days.
Mr. Carey, the city is representing an agreement to reduce this fine to $50 payable within 30 days. Is that your agreement?
Yes, that's correct.
CE 100900267, I reduced the fine from $150 to $50 payable within 30 days.
For case CE 12020455, the property was cited for overgrowth, trash and debris, and this is a third repeat case. The case was ordered on April 18th, 2012. The property was found in violation, and fine started on February 28th, 2012, for a total number of 29 days out of compliance. The compliance date was March 28th, 2012. The current fine is $2,900. The city has come into an agreement with the property owner and representatives to reduce this fine to $1,000 payable within 30 days.
Mr. Carey, the city has represented an agreement with you to reduce the fine from $2,900 to $1,000 payable within 30 days. Does that represent your agreement?
Yes, it does.
In case CE 120200455, I reduced the fine from $2,900 to $1,000 payable within 30 days.
For case number CE 11070124, the property was cited for overgrowth, trash and debris. This case was ordered on August 17th, 2011. The fine started on July 13th, 2011, and they ran for 15 days out of compliance. The property complied on July 28th, 2011, and the current fine in this case is $750. The city has come into an agreement with the property owner and representative to reduce this fine to $500 payable within 30 days.
Last one. Mr. Carey, the city is representing an agreement to reduce this from $750 to $500 payable within 30 days. Is that your agreement?
Yes, it is.
In CE 11070124, I reduced the fine from $750 to $500 payable within 30 days. I think that's it for us, right?
That's it.
All right, seeing no further business before us, we are adjourned.